Karmine Corp froths with revenge. Will the old big bads of EU reign again, or are we in a new era?
The desk says EU is tiered, but there are dry eyes in the house. Those belonging to Team Vitality. And CJ, my wonderful, brilliant, beautiful co-caster, how on earth did Karmine Corp win this grand final? Please tell me.
It'd just be an enormous feat to respond after that 4-0. I mean, the upper final, ladies and gentlemen, that was a shellacking. Vitality taking them to school here against KCorp, but they've got to run it back. They've got to do it again in the grand finals. KCorp will have to do it twice, however. The bracket reset is imminent.
Well, hopefully, as far as KCorp fans are concerned, the Blue Wall will be thinking, yes, let's hope it is imminent. And Karmine Corp have had a relatively simple journey in this double elimination bracket as they start off this first game well. Not too many difficult opponents in that upper bracket until they met Vitality and got 4-0'd by them. Then they return in the lowers, 4-0 Team BDS, but as we're seeing, CJ, Vitality are just built different.
It's just starting to not just feel like they're regional, they're split, but maybe their entire esport right now, Vitality. It could be them versus the whole world. And right now, everything going to plan. The 50-50s even finding their way into the net, opening it up here. Vitality and Alpha 54 being the veteran, if you would, of this team, which is crazy to say.
It's funny as well that Team Vitality, they come out in Zen's first regional, they win that. They win it the first time they've played with him. Then they come into the second regional and they look even better. There's even more shades to their game. You know, the first goal coming from a 50-50, they're not reliant on any one playstyle.
It sounds like we've said it 100 times by now, but they haven't lost the series yet. And I know we talked about the last series in the upper final as well. I mean, Zen was popping off. He was pre-jumping. He was going for dunks that turned into redirects downfield. I think that at this point, Cole, he's squashed all the concerns about him not being able to step up at this time, but the shot off the ceiling from Exotic has almost just at least kept us quiet a little bit about this Zen hype.
Yeah, I mean, there's also Karmine Corp hype to contend with as far as Vitality are concerned, but Alpha's coming forwards, tries to juke and weave his way through all three Karmine Corp defenders. Hopefully what we've seen in this first 90 seconds is that KC won't be embarrassed by Vitality, the same way they were in that first series. They did have chances, but here's a chance for Radosinho, as he goes by in-game, or Radosin, as we know him here. Tira's touch is only as far as Alpha, who can't commit with the double. Itachi's coming forwards, and KC just having a few half chances here in the early days.
Yeah, they're getting settled into this game. The 50-50 first goal won't be something that they'll love. However, it just felt like, Viteri talked about it. He mentioned it on Twitter. I'm not sure about the correct translation. Johnny gave us 8 definitions of it, but it just seemed like they were in their own heads a little bit against Vitality. And this is not going to, it can happen against these top players, these top teams. You almost overthink every situation and stop playing your way. Fortunately enough, Carl, they've got to, they can run it back. This is a rinse and repeat. They get another crack at Vitality, but we need to see a better KCorp than what we saw in that upper final.
I mean, if I tried to translate Johnny's Scottish tweets, I'd struggle even more than he did translating Vatira's earlier, so no harm done. Itachi's coming in, almost getting himself and Karmine Corp their first goal of the series. Is Exotic on the side. Radosin just trying to get this ball away. Vatira is there, and Karmine Corp so far have impressed me. They don't seem fazed by Vitality, and if Johnny's translation was correct, that they just get spooked every time they play the team in yellow, it doesn't seem to be happening here. There's a chance again for Vatira! Saved by Alpha, but more opportunities for Karmine Corp.
Vitality's defense has gone under the radar as well. I feel like we're always looking at their offense, the way that they can just pull a goal out of nowhere, but they've really been locked in defensively, and it's caused so many issues for KCorp down that end. And again here, we're seeing the offensive pressure from KCorp. They're stepping up, but they're just not quite finding a way through this Golden Hornets defense, and they're just got to leave it open down the other end. Radosin gets the second from Vitality as KCorp just overcommit everywhere.
Vitality normally have all the pressure and all the ball, but in this game, there have been 7 shots for Karmine Corp, and that, CJ, is only the second for Vitality. Now, my maths isn't great, but that to me looks like at least a 99% hit rate.
Just goes to show that Vitality are pretty flexible with their play style as well. They're playing this counter-attack style, perhaps knowing that KCorp will be coming out swinging. They are the team that's warm. They just had that victory over BDS, and I mean, Vitality are handling it nicely here. I don't mind the counter-attack style. It's worked so far. 2 goals, 2 shots. And KCorp need to get one back. They need to find some momentum, or it's going to start looking like that upper final again.
Ferra's whiteboard is currently glistening in the sunlight. It's amazing, the team tactics have gone into Vitality, as you mentioned, CJ. The playstyle working perfectly for them. Counter-attack Karmine Corp. Let them get their frustrations out on you, and then punish them as soon as their backs are turned. Working flawlessly up to now. He's going to come forwards again. He gets underneath the balls, then turns it down, just lets Alpha go by himself. Solo play is still such a huge weapon for Team Vitality. And look at that read from Radosin. And when reads like that from the ceiling are working that well, you know it's your day, your tournament. Wow, but Exotic, his floor pinch wasn't bad either. Unfortunately for him, gets too much on it. Then Zen pitches it right back. That hits the post, and Exotic pips it to the side.
This is just different Rocket League right now. We're using the wall as a fourth teammate here, and the counter-attack maybe touching at the first. No, 50-50 by Zen. Vitality. It's Exotic, it's Zen, either side going for these pinch plays. I don't mind it. Trying to find an avenue into net, and Vitality still 2-0 up, 20 seconds left. The counter-attacks, Cole, have been working. Vitira almost out of position there with 15 on the clock, but this has been workmanlike from Vitality. They're happy to defend if it means they can score down the other end. Maybe Radosin from there. Evans goes whack. And a third from Vitality. Is there anything this team can't do?
Oh, the pre-jump onto the ceiling, then the double, smash it home as well. A clean finish at the end of all that. Radosin, he may have dropped the Team Vitality decal, which I'm still slightly annoyed about Radosin, but my goodness, he hasn't dropped his skill levels.
KCorp just don't have any answers now. They can't find an opening. They've had more shots than anything here. 7 in game 1, 4 to Vitality, but no goals on the board. And it feels like that upper final all over again. I don't know if they need a timeout here after game 1. But Vitality, they just have stepped up time and time again. They've got answers to all of KCorp's questions.
Would you take the timeout now?
I'd take the timeout. I'd take the timeout game 1. They're not finding that style here. We saw it in the upper final as well. Vitality using those counterattacks. We saw, Exotic getting caught third man a couple of times in those 2-on-1s, air dribble bump situations. We're seeing it again. There is some offense from KCorp, but if it comes at the cost of, that high risk, high reward gameplay, Vitality are capitalizing every day of the week. I'd nearly go the timeout. We're not seeing it. However, it's 3-0 start there, and they're looking clinical, this Vitality team.
Oh, clinical is the precise word for the way that Team Vitality play. You think they're under the cosh. You think they're going to be struggling in some way, in some second, and then next thing you know, they've scored against you. They've just got that 30 boost extra, and Radosin's used it to get the double tap. I think what's terrifying about Vitality is that every single one of their players mechanically is capable of everything. We're all talking about Zen, CJ, but Radosin and Alpha, they're almost the forgotten men, but they're still that good.
Yeah, Radosin's having the tournament of his life right now. He's certainly stepping up. It feels like there really is not a third man, not a weak link on this lineup, which is why they haven't even lost the series yet, which is crazy to say in a touch. He does get the first goal of the series for KCorp right off the bat.
We saw earlier on that an early goal can't always necessarily work for you in the Moist versus BDS series. Both teams got an early one and then ended up losing 4 or 5-1. But hopefully for KC, it just gives them something to kick on from. And I think it could be important for their mentality if they play it right from here.
Yeah, well, for the first time, we're seeing KCorp lack confidence, or maybe that belief in themselves. And sometimes a goal can do a world of good for that side of things. The mental game, the brain, what's going on upstairs is Exotic does catch the ball on the sidewall. 50-50. Alpha 54 gets beaten out. Zen's in trouble. Radosin is so deep on the rotation. We'll be able to get this one out of net. And the instant counter-attack as well. The Vitality special. They just bait you in, feel like you've got an attack, and then it's straight down the other end.
I'm sure Karmine Corp, with Everstacks in their ears, will have that in mind, though, as well this game. They're not going to be shocked as much by how deep Vitality defend and how quickly they counter-attack, you would expect. But it's one thing to know what Vitality are going to do. It's quite another to actually deal with it. Karmine Corp up to now with Vitira buying himself some time. Unfortunately for him, the ball's right in his way, so he's going to have to guess where the Vitality defenders are. He does incredibly, actually, to get the ball all the way down to the orange end. And they're keeping Vitality pinned. Last time, it was the exact same look, but there was no goal to break through Vitality. This time, KC have their reward.
I love this slower approach from KCorp as well. They're just not being prone to the attacks. The fake's coming out, the 50-50. Zen's there and gets the beat over the top of Touchy. He has a flip. He's pulled that out of nowhere. Not sure. Could be cheating. Radosin gets the 50-50. Alpha 54 double commit. Vitality do get out of net, but this is the counter. Vatira does get the beat out. The bounce up doesn't help Exotic, and the demo won't help Zen either. KCorp still on attack. Vatira keeping the pressure on. Radosin's there. Double done. Exotic's overcommitted again.
No.
It's KCorp's worst nightmares coming to life.
Oh, it's all of us who want a bracket reset's worst nightmares as well. Itachi, he thought he had the ball in the palm of his hand, but Radosin dragged it away from him with one cruel, cruel dunk. Vitality equalize, and again, out of absolutely nowhere. It's one shot, it's their first shot, and it came from a dunk, and they've scored from it.
The slow play will work for KCorp, but not if you're going to overcommit there. There was no third man. Exotic just going for that all-or-nothing positioning there last and got caught out. A free goal for Vitality. You just can't give them goals. They've got to get the confidence. Radosin flip reset beats one. No power on it, however. Zen's up quick, almost gets the skim on net. Everything feels like it's going in. Alpha 54 doesn't care about it. Now Zen's left last man. Vatira's looking for the bumps. He can't quite get it. He's committed. Does get the boost, however, KCorp. They're going to be able to keep some pressure on. Zen in a little bit of trouble, but I don't know if he's ever feeling like he's in trouble the way he's playing. Itachi now, infield pass. Vatira, shot goes wide. No follow-up either. That could have been another one for KCorp.
You have to take those chances, but KC are going to keep on coming. Itachi, he slows it down, takes himself a couple. Bumps are flying in left, right, and center. Zen seems to be unbothered by any of that and just gets the ball to the side, and Vitality survive another wave of attack. This is where Karmine Corp have to keep up their concentration. They don't want to be counted for a second time in this game alone, a fifth time overall. When you take into account the 3 in the first game, Itachi's going to beat Zen here, goes to the ceiling. Vatira up against Radosin, and Karmine Corp are beating Vitality to the ball. Vitality getting away with it for now, but it's scary if you're a Vitality fan.
It is scary, but we've seen the counterattacks before. 7 shots to KCorp. All of a sudden, Vitality just get one. They get the counter. That's what they need. Radosin's in trouble. Pops the ball up to Exotic. This could be the best opportunity right now. Off the ceiling. Does he get the touch? No, Zen's there. Clears the ball out. KCorp's trying to just find another offense. Vitality have other ideas. Great beat from Exotic. Zen now boost to work with. Alpha's looking for bugs. He's going aerial. He's going high. No boost. And Itachi pre-jumps. We're still at 1-1 Cole. There's been a lot of attack, but not too much to show for at either end.
Good bravery from Karmine Corp there. Not getting itchy when Zen had the ball. Going to him at the right moments, using your boost well, but Zen does charge down the Karmine Corp player. Radosin's coming in now. Zen refusing to rotate out, so Radosin is going to use that space that he's been cleared. It's actually doing this one cleanly, though, and Radosin on the way out was getting just nibbled into by Vatira, who wouldn't let him free. Karmine Corp continuing to attack. A couple of Vitality players in their own corner. That's not ideal. It's a shot from Itachi. It's the perfect placement from Itachi. 2-1.
For the first time, Vitality caught out in defense here. Everyone front post. Zen committed for the save. Radosin's there front post. Everyone in the corner, which means the top right is wide open. And Itachi, he is too classy to that. He's always going to finish there. Finds the angle, finds the shot. And KCorp, what a response. What a way to fight back into this game.
Team Vitality have won 2 best-of-7s in a row by 4-0. Haven't conceded a game in the best-of-7 stage of this tournament yet. Now they find themselves 45 seconds away from doing just that to one of the teams that they 4-0'd. Such is the improvement from Karmine Corp. The mental game so much stronger than earlier on in the upper bracket final. Vatira's already up, not letting Radosin go anywhere. Exotic just waiting for Alpha. Alpha's going to keep on coming. Zen's taken out the game, and so is Radosin. Vatira has a chance to at least steal some seconds. Does that and gets it to Itachi.
That's smart. He wouldn't be able to get the shot on net. The spawn was coming through from Zen, so he just killed time off the clock. Alpha 54, Vitality trying to find an angle. Zen sitting deep, does find a pass across. I don't mind it. Here's an opportunity. Alpha 54, Vatira. He's out there. Wait, no, he gets the save. Radosin over there as well. Vitality almost had the equalizer, and it's still up in the air. Zen off the ceiling. Exotic's there. Pre-jumps, but he misses. The ball hits the ground. KCorp hold on. That was absolutely frightening for the team in blue, but Vatira held strong.
Exotic, you terrifying man. I don't think that fake was intentional. I think that was a straight-up panic miss. Maybe I'm being unfair, but, maybe it was the light from the sun coming into his window that has no curtain, which still tilts me, but it's all right, I'll get over it. Karmine Corp take a massive game. Vitality, at least partly, CJ, have been felled.
Yeah, it's not just tying up the series here for KCorp. It's just getting a game win. They got swept. It was 4-0 in the upper final. They have to know that Vitality, they can lose a game. They can be defeated in some way or another, and they found it here. A great response. They chose that slower offense, the build-up play. They did get caught out with a counter-attack out of nowhere. It seemed like Exotic was a little bit in no man's land, but apart from that, that was a much better game from KCorp.
Man, you can see there the sun in his eyes, looking to his window, thinking, why did the sun get in my eyes? Someone put something over that poor old curtain rail. But it's a great performance from Karmine Corp. It must have been frustrating when they were dunked just so hard by Radosin. They're the moments where your comms, there must just be that split second of, oh my goodness, are we about to tilt?
I mean, it's just got to do wonders for their mentality here, KCorp. Getting the win, tying the series up. They know that Vitality are vulnerable. They've changed up the game style, gone for that slower offense, like I said. But maybe their kickoffs need to do other improvements right here. Vitality, right off the bat, almost get a goal. But if you're just watch for this slower build-up. Even Itachi here, he's slowing it down. They're making sure they're not overcommitting in offense and just taking their time a little bit more. Not just trying to bite off that first shot, that first opportunity. They're grabbing the boost and they're just trying to lock it in that orange half. And again, Vitality out of position. Exotic gets the first on the board.
Not sure what happened there. Radosin seems to be in a good position and then just carried on across the top of the goal exactly where Zen was. Zen wasn't expecting it. And Exotic, he saw the whole thing happen and gratefully placed the ball in the goal, 1-0.
They just locked each other front post and a bit of a mishap there. As I said, defensively, Vitality have looked flawless so far, but last game and then the start of this one, we've just seen a few positional mistakes. Players getting caught front post, right on each other's backs, and that's been costly here. Zan trying to get an instant equaliser over to Radosin, goes wide, and it may be too wide for an Alpha 54 shot, but still made Vatira pre-jump. He was a little bit worried about that one. Now KCorp on the counter-attack. Alpha 54 with a great touch central and the demo as well for the follow-up. I mean, the end of this attack from KCorp from the blue wall as Zen is he's just freestyling in his own half. He's feeling it.
For the third game in a row, though, Karmine Corp have more of the play and more of the opportunities. Zen, he'll get the save this time. But it's another clean hit in Vitality's half. That's the last thing that they'll want, no matter how good their defending is. Especially if one or two mistakes are starting to come in. Maybe a little bit of fatigue showing. Maybe a little bit of complacency from Vitality. Who knows? Something is just tweaked somewise. That's what Karmine Corp are doing well. It's making it happen. Exotic sends that one to the side, and Vatira desperate to get in and charge down Zen, and they're bumps for him to get. He's looking for them on the backboard now. Gets a flip reset from no angle at all. And Radosin can take the ball away, but Vitality not looking too comfortable in game number 3.
KCorp's challenge game stepping up. That's open. Vatira does get the save. The demo came through on Itachi, which left their defense vulnerable. Exotic going for the pre-jump. Not sure about that, maybe a little bit too confident, but it just goes to show their mentality has shifted. Before, they were so concerned about every possible touch, thinking Zen's going to get a quadruple, quintuple flip reset every time, but now they're relying on their instincts, on their challenge game. They're one of the best teams in the world at 50-50s and keeping possession, and they're finally bringing it to Vitality. They're playing their own style. It's good to see.
The ball is stuck in the Vitality corner. Itachi not letting it go. And Exotic should be able to get around this one with boost as well. He gives himself a wider berth. Alpha wasn't expecting it, so the 50-50. Actually, it falls to Radosin. Good read up and good sweep up there from the Frenchman. Goes into the center where Alpha is waiting and just pips it towards Exotic, who can take a touch. Vitality coming back on the attack. There's a chance here for a shot. Still 1-0 down Vitality, and still 1-0 down Vitality, because Karmine Corp, despite a Vitality shot or two, defending well. Maybe that changes here. Zen tries to just bundle his way through, but it's too central. There's no width. Everything looking a little bit simple for Karmine Corp to defend.
A few huge pre-jumps defensively from Itachi has been enormous here on defense. They've got no boost though. Alpha 54's flip reset blocked out by Exotic. Still on attack here. Vitality. Itachi trying to work it out. He's got no boost. Alpha's got room to work with, but the first touch, it's just not what he wanted there. They still have the boost. They still have control. This ball pinching out will give space to Alpha, but he's got zero as well. It feels like no one on the pitch can find the boost at the right time. Vatira air dribbling it out 50-50. Great beat from Exotic. Follow-up shot just a little bit. No power and not much of an angle on it either. Itachi 50-50. KCorp on attack. Alpha 54 can't get the touch. Now he does across the field. KCorp, it feels like it's their turn to start something, their turn to attack. Itachi blocked out by Zen. Is there another follow-up coming through? But again, Alpha too fast.
This is where Karmine Corp's defensive play, their patient movements forward start to pay dividends. When they do up the pace, suddenly Vitality look a little bit lackluster. They're second to every ball. Karmine Corp shocking Team Vitality, allowing themselves to be downloaded and then completely switching up their play style. Karmine Corp attacking all the way to the end, clutching on to that win. So desperate for it, but Zen's coming forward. Can't get past Vatira again. Alpha around the corner. Itachi's just going to send it on its way. More good defending from Karmine Corp. It falls to Radosin. Charged down again by Karmine Corp. Zen's turn is just over, and it's missed by Radosin. Alpha can only go high. Alpha gets the second touch. Radosin's there. Is anyone going to put this ball in the back of the net? They were gonna, but Vatira, Karmine Corp's hero so many times, comes in clutch, sends Vitality back again, maybe for the last time, but no, he's there again, CJ.
This is a superhuman performance. Counter-attack, exotic free double touch, read out by Radosin on the backboard. Vitality could not find a way through. Zen should have scored, but he put no power on the shot. Vatira made the save now with 15 seconds left. Is it going to be KCorp taking a serious lead, or is Alpha 54 saved out by Exotic again? Itachi clears the ball downfield. 5 seconds on the clock. Can Alpha 54 push it forward? Zen pass across, blocked out. Radosin's there. Alpha's ready for the pass off the corner. Itachi again gets the clear. Vitality trying to keep this ball up. KCorp doing anything they can to kill it, but they can't quite yet. There it is. Alpha puts it on the ground. KCorp, what a response. They grab game 2 and now they get game 3.
I might have missed scene because the camera cut away just when it was happening, but I'm pretty sure Vatira had a huge reaction just to winning that game right there. There was an explosion of emotion. Going 2-1 up in a series. This is the man who's normally so calm and collected. That was full fist bumps there from Vatira. They are feeling it now.
Vitality taking the timeout as well. I tell you what, they haven't taken too many timeouts so far this split. When you're winning all the time, that can tend to happen, but now let's see what Farah can cook in the kitchen here, the coach of Team Vitality. We saw he had the whiteboard wheeled in earlier. The size of the thing, he had 3 essays on it as well. I'm not sure what he was telling the boys. Zen didn't look too interested, but maybe now he's going to be receptive to some advice, to some feedback if they can find a way back in, because KCorp definitely had a change up there in game 2, as I said. They went for they focused on their challenges. They picked up their pace and were able to lock the ball in a little bit more, helping each other out in offense. That's been a world of good for this side, but now it's back on Vitality to answer back.
And Vitality are surely going to be able to mix things up themselves. You know, they've got Farah there. He's talking them through it all. There's a million different trajectories this series could go as far as Team Vitality are concerned. But as of right now, Karmine Corp's playstyle is working an absolute treat about a team that an hour ago people were calling unbeatable, people were calling the best in the world. Remember Karmine Corp? You know, they're really looking like strong contenders, and they're defending as well. I mean, how on earth do they keep that one out?
I mean, this looks like a KCorp against any other team in the world right now. It felt like they had a mental block against Vitality, particularly in that upper final earlier today, but they found a way to respond. They've had the rematch, and so far they are not wasting this second opportunity here. And just notice how much... We saw a couple of overcommits early, but they put a rest to that. They put a stop to that in game 2, and they sorted it out. They stopped overcommitting third man. They focused on their challenges. They started playing as a team. And since then, well, Vitality look a little bit rattled. It's almost like the shoe's on the other foot now. The ball's in the other court.
Well, this is where there's a different sort of pressure on Team Vitality. You're coming in Zen's first regional, and if you finish 3rd, 4th, whatever, people think, oh, that's really good for a first regional. But as soon as you win it, there's this expectation that you're going to win everything. And then when you get to the major, that you're going to win that. And then when you get to Worlds, that you're going to win that. And the pressure builds and builds and builds and builds and builds. This is the first time we've really seen Team Vitality put under the cosh in the best of 7, you know, in the knockout moments of a tournament. And we're going to get to see what their metal is made of. But Vatira, he's heavy metal. He set it all the way up for Exotic. Radosin still gets the save. It remains 0-0.
There's no way he's recovered off that save, off his own corner, off the side post, inside the net. Radosin with a double save. Now Zen faking out, no boost to work with. Radosin has been the subtle, the hidden MVP for Vitality this regional. And he's showing up again where it counts here. Game number 4, Vitality looking to tie up this series. And saves like that, opportunities like that can go a long way to getting this done.
Yeah, Radosin and his slimy ASMR boost that's coming out of his multicolored Fennec is doing some serious work for Team Vitality at the moment. Huge performance from him, keeps it at 0-0. But it's a 0-0 that overall Vitality will be much happier with Karmine Corp will be much happier with than Team Vitality. Double pinches for Exotic. He can take a touch here. How's his 50 game? Alphas is a little bit stronger. Then he's bumped out the way. Godosin up against Exotic. Doesn't get the bull, but does get the demo. We'll have a little bit of time just to catch a breath or two.
Exotic now beats out Alpha 54. KCorp continue winning these 50-50s. Vitira off the corner gets the shot on net. It won't worry Redosum, but Alpha 54 will love a counter-attack. He gets fed into him. Exotic's in trouble. He misses the ball. Redosum cleans up. And Vitality get the first one on the board.
A little bit of the Karmine Corp shakiness back up against Team Vitality. Exotic just crept forward a bit too much. And Redosum was not going to miss that one. It's a deserved goal for him after the huge save he had earlier. And Vitality take a lead in a game that they had seemed a little bit slower at until Karmine just gave them that goal.
And he's such a smart touch from Alpha as well. That it was too heavy to follow it up himself, which was perfect because he could just offload it there to Redosum. And well, Exotic was playing for the solo play. He was playing for the one-touch follow-up from Alpha. But that didn't come through. Exotic just couldn't quite make it work. But Vitira can. He's getting the fakes in the midfield and he's getting the finish in the top corner.
There was a demo that came in right when Vitira started his jump and he just slowed down, turned it into a backflip, baited Zen out and prods it home. It's great play from Vitira. More good teamwork as well from Karmine Corp. And so far, we've seen games where one team has been dominant, even if they haven't won it. You think of game one, that Vitality won 3-0, but Karmine Corp had all the pressure. This one's a little bit more back and forth. This is a shootout, and I cannot wait to find out who comes out on top.
I love this as well because it just feels like Vitira has leveled up. We've seen this at LANs where it feels like he's 1v3 in teams, and obviously Itachi and Exotic getting to work as well, but Vitira seems so locked in right now, perhaps motivated by that 4-0 sweep against him in the upper bracket, and certainly coming alive so far in this series, except not quite right there. That might have been a caster curse. He misses the ball. Zen misses the ball as well, but finds Exotic in the meantime. Itachi, a poor clear. Could be dangerous here. Zen doesn't quite get the touch off the corner, and KCorp trying to clear the ball out. Vitira with so much speed and almost a dunk through in the net as well. He is just feeling it right now. Not too worried about where the ball's going, but just trying to get anywhere as fast as possible.
So desperate for this ball as well. He is very much the man with something to prove. Always chasing it, always there, closest to the ball at all times. Charging forward in front of the ball. Chased down by Zen, those two. If they have a proper, most goals wins shootout, it'll be something entertaining to behold. Vitira's going to chase this one as well. 24 boost in the tank to play with. Exotic in the center. He can flip reset his way to him. Actually, he doesn't. But he gets the perfect challenge. Down the corner for Vitality. Karmine Corp keeping forwards, but Itachi's touch is a little bit weak. And Redosum can clear for now.
Zen does get 50-50'd out again. The ball just laying around in midfield. Now there's a bit of space to work with, but Zenot just opts for the shot. Vitira ready for it. Exotic fakes out Redosum, who still gets a touch on it somehow. Pass infield. Vitira is there. Vitality trying to attack, trying to get some 50-50s, but it might mean that KCorp can counter unless Zen, well, he's pre-jumping down one end, now he's pre-jumping in defense as well. Vitira, though, has got other ideas off the ceiling, can't get the touch off the ground. Alpha 54 now, counter-attack Vitality. Game one on repeat. Redosum's awkward! He's trying to own goal. Please stop doing that. Oh my goodness, bailed out by Alpha.
But he knew he had Zen. It was Zen behind him, and he thought, Zen's on the goal line. He'll be all right. He'll be able to deal with this. Thankfully for Redosum, he was absolutely correct. Vitira, though, he goes high, gets it almost over the top of Alpha. But Karmine Corp still coming forward. Itachi is met by Redosum on a mad one. Chain dashing all the way. Trying to up the pace, trying to drag Vitality onwards. Get them marching again, put them back in control. They haven't been in control of this game at all. Exotic wants to get the double tap, does get the double tap. Itachi's there. It's sent high. So much danger for Vitality, but finally they clear their lines.
It feels like there's so much aggression right now from KCorp, but it's controlled aggression. It's smart. They're not just throwing themselves away. They're making the challenges when they need to. Redosum again, 50-50'd out of touch. He doesn't get the touch, but it just forces a poor clear there from Redosum. Here we go. 1 second left. Maybe down to Vitira. He's been enormous so far. Or is it going to be Itachi here? 0 seconds. He's off the ceiling. Show us the magic. Alpha gives us overtime here in a crucial game number 4.
A huge moment in this series and a huge moment in this split. Karmine Corp, if they can get one more goal, they're so close to forcing a bracket reset to toppling Team Vitality, and they do have their goal. It's Exotic, and it's the exact finish he was after.
He just slams it home, top corner. It felt like he wasn't going to be able to get the angle. Zen's there. Alpha is ready for the shot, but he's not ready for the top left slot. Bang, KCorp 3-1. What a response. What a way to start this first best of 7 potentially.
And it's the back and forth game that Karmine Corp were desperate for. You know, they wanted one like this. They wanted to suck Team Vitality out of their own goal line. That's exactly what's happened there. And Team Vitality as well, CJ, they've used their timeout. There's nothing left. They have to roll this one straight forwards onto the next map. Karmine Corp have them exactly where they want them. And isn't this brilliant for European Rocket League and Rocket League in general to see a team stand up to Team Vitality?
It's just such a mental game, Rocket League, Cole, and you've just seen the swing here. KCorp in the first series, in the upper final, you know, Vatira said it himself. They were inside their own heads a little bit. They didn't know what they were doing. They weren't focused. They weren't playing the KCorp way when they came up against Vitality. And then all of a sudden, KCorp get one win on the board. They win that game too. And now Vitality are almost not playing their way. Zen's being a little bit quiet. Obviously, Redoson's still stepping up in defense and offense. But really, it's been Vatira to swing things around, try and show why he perhaps is still #1 in the world. It's not this new kid on the block. But can Vitality respond here? They're facing match point, or series point, should I say. Bracket reset on the line if KCorp can land this one. I don't know if Vitality wants another best of 7.
A bracket reset is on the line, and across all the regions in the RLCS, there has not been a single bracket reset this season. Karmine Corp trying to change recent history in so many ways, and maybe Deadeye Canyon is the stage upon which they do so. As Vatira launches this ball towards Exotic, you can already tell what Karmine Corp are planning. Redosin can tell as well, and he gets the clearance. But again, it's Karmine Corp that start the better and have more of the ball.
Feels like Vitality are opting for the counter-attack strategy again, but I'm not sure it's going to work against this locked-in KCorp. Or this Itachi sitting downfield going for the cherry picks. Zen, again, going for the counter-attack meta. I don't mind it. It did work in game 1, but it hasn't worked since. Alpha 54 passes it across, but well, he's got no one there, no support. Shot on net is very, very wide there from KCorp. Redosin walks it out, and now maybe a one-on-one here. Exotic steps up this time. He didn't in the first series, but he's doing it now.
I thought he'd been faked out horrifically for a second there, Exotic, but he just about managed to get a little wedge of his car on that ball. Alpha keeps it coming. This is better from Team Vitality. Redosin, he has the ball again. He's got the bracket reset off the wall. It's just wide. Karmine Corp would claim they were confident that one wasn't going on target. I'm not so sure there weren't any sped up heart rates on the goal line there. This is so much better from Vitality though, so much more control. This is the real them that we're seeing again.
Yeah, this is game 1 Vitality, but I'm not sure if it's game 1 KCorp. That might be the problem down the other end. The blue wall is growing, it's getting larger, and it's pushing into the offense here. Alpha 54 tries to pass it central. Redosin's under it. Ball just kicks out a little bit too high there as Exotic pre-jumping again in midfield. KCorp giving no room to work with. Itachi's there. Vatira last. Has to wait for Zen. Of course, he's got 3 on it. When does he not have an extra touch? Alpha 54 goes for the skim. Let's get it up high. Exotic dealing with it for the meantime. KCorp looking comfortable right now in defense.
Yeah, they're reading all these Team Vitality solo plays, almost dunking it in. It works out in the end. Exotic scores.
How has Exotic got this back on target, and how has Vatira nearly put this ball in? I've got so many questions, but Exotic has all the answers. He's almost bumped Redosin, which has just leveled his car out to get the angle to find the shot on net. And KCorp again getting the first goal on the board this game. I don't know if Vitality can play counter-attack anymore, Cole. They need to step forward. They need to create some offense.
Yeah, they don't appear to have the read on Karmine Corp anymore. It's the complete opposite. Vitality's solo plays, free jump. Vitality's passes met in the center. Vitality's 50-50s going against them. And Vatira, his dribbles, his floor game has been flawless. Into the middle it goes though. There's Alpha. He picks out Redosin. Again, it's met by Exotic. Nothing Vitality are attempting is working. Karmine Corp beating them away at the door. It remains 1-0 KC.
They just cannot find a way through here, Vitality. It seems crazy to think that this offense that we've seen for the past, Well, all of this regional and the first one as well has been flawless, has been unstoppable. Maybe it is stoppable here. Exotic goes the low 50-50. Almost, well, should be grabbing the corner boost. Does so. Pass across Vatira. Alpha 54 blocks it out. Almost puts it into his own net here. And Vitality, they need to find a goal. They've got to concede another one if they're not too careful. Vatira does get the clear down. Redoshin, left last man. The top here has just been exceptional. The midfield dominance every single time. They just always have someone there.
Ooh, and the three of them combined to make that save. Alpha, can he beat Itachi? He can, but he puts it wide. Redoshin, surely it's on target. Finally, Zen tips it in, and Vitality do equalise.
There it is. That's what they needed there. Zen just gets the shot in the net, buries it in the top left corner, finds a way through. Vitality do get that equaliser, that all-important one right here, right now.
And we have parity between these two teams. Itachi, he's up. Sends that one to the side, and Vatira is chasing it down. Can Vitality make the most of their momentum? It's completely shifted for KC in recent times, and even Zen's missing double taps. That shows how precarious their position is as the undefeated team in EU since bringing in Zen. Now Vatira, he wants to get the charge down on Alpha. Itachi's coming in. Redoshin gets there as well. Alpha to the side. 1 minute remaining. This one is so delicately poised.
And 55 here, counter-attack. Exotic goes for the quick double touch. Alpha 54 does get the read in the midfield. Itachi has to backtrack here. KCorp don't want to let this one slip right now. They could lock it out 4-1, force the bracket reset. Vitality. Right now they've got other ideas. Exotic gets the touch downfield. Itachi's chasing it, so's Vatira. With 32 seconds left on the clock, Alpha 54 forcing it forward now. Vitality, do they get the last attack on the board? Redoshin, 50-50'd out by Exotic. KCorp again winning these challenges in the midfield. Vatira trying to go to work, trying to cook. He's got a flip reset. He fakes it underneath, but Zen meets him in a titanic battle.
Both teams, though, playing this well, playing this bravely. Zen backflips it as far as Itachi. Saved by Alpha, but Itachi hasn't gone away yet. He'll have a chance to get back into the attack. Got 100 boost. Vatira just smashes it to the backboard. Here he is, the Moroccan. Closed down by Zen. Surely this is going to be overtime. No, Exotic. He keeps it up. Redoshin also keeps it up. Everyone's desperate for that 0-second moment. All these players believe that they have it in them. They can be him, but none of them are. And it is next goal wins.
Everything on the line for both teams right now. KCorp, they don't want to let Vitality back in. They don't want to give them that one game because this could all of a sudden be a game 7 before you know it. And well, Vitality, they want to lock this one out, not force that bracket reset here. The touchdown field for Tira. Could he get the double touch? The drop down. It's wide. It's almost in, but it's not a touch. He's there as well, trying to force it infield. The 50-50s come through from Vitality. The defense holds on, but that was almost Vatira's moment.
If you had a trillion channel points, you'd have put them on Vatira scoring that one. And you may well have lost, but here they come again. Karmine Corp. Then he's just camped in the goal line. Vatira does not miss twice. We're going to have the first bracket set in any region of the season.
Ladies and gents, run it back because we're going all over again. It's Vatira. Guess who? Who else for KCorp? Putting it away in the overtime. 4-1 KCorp. What a response. What a statement from the previous major champions. And now Vitality have 15 minutes to work out what went wrong.
That whiteboard is going to be wheeled out. There'll be a blackboard as well. There'll be some cones. There'll be all sorts of thoughts going through the Team Vitality camp because Karmine Corp did what Vitality did to KC earlier, CJ, and got 4 games against them in a row. Unprecedented stuff.
Man, oh man, what a response. After game 1, it felt like the upper final again. It felt like Vitality were going to walk away with this series. It was 3-0. KCorp couldn't get a goal on the board. But since that game, since just finding that response, they didn't need the timeout, KCorp, but they found a way and they responded big time. Vitality were shoved against the wall in game 2, pushed back, they were pushed through the wall in game 3, Cole, and ever since then, it has been one-way traffic for the blue wall. What a series and what a statement piece from them.
Brilliance from Karmine Corp. And thanks to them, there's going to be even more Rocket League to come. The bracket reset is going to be coming up right after this break. And please do not go anywhere.